We have on the line today the two gentlemen who make up the YouTube sensation known as Cult Moo. They take their taste buds and they boldly go where no man has gone before. Nothing's off limits in terms of food, whether it be in a can or a bag. They've deep fried things I never thought it was possible to deep fry. They've taken kind of video blogging and their love of food and they've put it together. They had a beautiful baby. It's called Cult Moo. We'd like to say hello to, I believe, Hair Pink and Senor Guero. Good afternoon. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Thank
How
you.
are you guys doing?
We're doing really well. It's great listening to the two of you in stereo as well. First of all, let's get into the names, Hair Pink and Senor Guero. Now, in German, Hair Pink would be Mr. Pink, and Senor Guero would mean Mr. Caucasian or Mr. White in Spanish. And I have noticed references to Reservoir Dogs on some of your videos before. Is that where the names have come from, and why the anonymity?
Yeah, actually, they did come from Reservoir Dogs. I'm kind of a semi-film nerd myself, so anything Quentin Tarantino's awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we liked the idea of them because they got all their names too. They were all anonymous because they had to go on the bank robbery or whatever together.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, these are good names, so we each picked one, and that's where we got our names.
So,
yeah, as far as the anonymity, it just kind of just felt right. The situation.
It's easier that way.
Yeah.
It's easier that way, so people are kind of just referring to you as kind of Hair Pink and Senor Guero. It's a bit harder, I think, as well, if people are critical to take offence when they're not actually calling you by your real name.
Yeah, a little bit,
I think that does help.
So how did you two first get started with It Came From a Can?
I'll let Wero take this one.
Well, basically, my father loved to get me just strange gifts for Christmas, and so one year he decided that, okay, it's going to be funny, let's get him a can of bacon.
A can of bacon?
He got this. I thought it was a really novel idea. We were sitting there, I think it was sometime around New Year's Eve. I'd had the stuff for a week and was just kind of sitting there and like, all right, let's do this. And we decided to film it. Thought it was like, well, we get enjoyment out of this, so let's put this up on YouTube and see what happens. And lo and behold, it's grown into this, I'm not sure what you'd want to call it now, but it seems to be growing steam.
Yeah, back then we were amazed to get like 10 views on that thing. Like after a week, it was pretty cool.
Have you actually heard that there is a restaurant in Japan that serves only food in a can?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a place where you can go and pick cans off the wall, and then you'd bring them over and open them at your table and just eat them.
That sounds fantastic.
It sounds like it'd be right up your alley. The name Cult Moo, what's the reference and what does it mean?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you. It's sort of lost in time, I guess. Like, I came up with it a long time ago, and I would just attach it to whatever random thing I was doing at the time. And I kind of just kept it.
So how did the two of you get together originally?
Well, we've been friends since kindergarten, elementary school. I don't know, like about 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah,
and,
we've known each other forever, so we're kind of like brothers.
Yeah, it's family, basically, and just hanging out.
Well, it does feel like that when you watch the videos, that you two really have a good time together and just kind of make fun of each other the way siblings do. You both tend to kind of open the cans and you both eat the food, and I've seen very different reactions from the two of you for some of the things that you've tried. But for the both of you, what are some of the more not delicious things, the worst things that you've tried from a can? Because I did watch the video where you tried some of the Korean silkworm pupae, the bugs basically, and that was certainly interesting.
Yeah, that wasn't a favorite of ours.
Yeah, I think my what was it? It's like a peanut that tastes like death, I think was my.
Yeah. There was that reference.
Yes, the peanut of death.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with it being in the can. Like, we found better bugs than that since.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely all in the preparation.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say generally food in a can is not as delicious as other food?
Yeah, I'd say that.
And speaking of cans, did you get the opportunity to partake in any food that's generally not consumable by humans? For example, dog food, because that comes in a can.
We've gotten that question a few times, actually. No, we only eat stuff that's specifically made for humans. We know there's other people out there that will go get that kind of stuff, and that's just not our thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
we've also
human
heard
food.
That, people have gotten various degrees of hospitalization by doing so, so it's kind of we'd rather try to stay out of the hospital.
That's a fair aim for. I noticed that there was a mention on one of the videos. I think you partook in eating. I can't think of the name of it. It's a Mexican dish, and it comes from corn, but it's like
the huitlacoche.
it's like corn that's moldy, essentially.
Yeah, it's a corn fungus.
Yeah.
Huitlacoche.
How did you cope with that one?
It was surprisingly not bad.
Really?
Yeah, I was like our Canadian friend who also tried that.
Mm-hmm.
He really didn't enjoy it. That was a sketch, but we thought it was all right. It kind of reminded me of black beans almost.
Okay, mouldy corn reminds you of black beans. Those are not two things that I've put together,
Well,
but
corn,
hey,
corn kernels, when they're black, they look like beans that are black.
when they're
That might
black,
have been the visual. I don't know. But
they're ready to eat. Is there anything that you did kind of look at and think that is going to be horrendous? I'm not going to enjoy it, and then you tried it and thought, hey, this is actually okay. You know, I would eat this on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a couple that jump to mind. The first one is probably haggis.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
We did that a long time ago, but if you watch the video, like you can see, like we're just not into it at all. We're just afraid to even put it in our mouths, but it actually turned out to be really good.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, we had some of that for dinner tonight.
Ooh.
What, haggis for dinner? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's not very North American, is it? Haggis for dinner.
But copious quantities of meat.
Yeah, another one would be kimchi, actually.
Yeah, that was on my list there.
Well, I noticed
yes.
you really seem to appreciate that. There was was it the radish kimchi?
Yeah, you had the radish kimchi, the new kimchi, and the old kimchi. And I was very surprised that both of you thought the old kimchi was nicer than the new kimchi.
So did we, actually.
Yeah, we didn't have high hopes for that one, but yeah, it turned out to be. I really liked the spice that came with it.
I also like the way that you envisioned how some of them could be used. You mentioned with the radish kimchi, it'd be great as kind of on a bratwurst with a sausage.
As a garnish.
Yeah, as a garnish. One of the other ones you suggested could almost be as a bit of a salad, a vinaigrette salad.
Yeah, we actually a few weeks later tried that on the bratwurst, and it was delicious.
Yep.
I imagine it would. I've never assumed that it would. I've never thought of it like that. But
It is quite similar to sauerkraut
Yeah,
in
well, that's
terms
the
of it
thing,
being
yeah.
fermented, so I can see how that would work.
Did you ever have a chance to try something in a can? It comes from like Norway or Sweden, and it is a type of fish that
Is it
has
the
been.
Sturmströmming? The stinky. You have?
Did you try that one?
Yes, we did.
Did you do it? Did you do it indoors or outdoors?
Actually, only I tried. Wero really tried. He tried to try it, but he failed.
Oh man.
Oh, was it another
Horrible.
silkworm pupae?
He didn't get that close, actually.
It was
It was
terrible.
a pretty bad one. But yeah, we definitely opened that thing outside. There is no way that's an indoor item.
Yeah, I've heard some of them can explode.
They've
Yeah,
actually been banned from taking them on aeroplanes as well.
Yes, that's
they literally have to ship them.
that's why it's pretty hard to find in America.
Well, speaking of that, how are you getting a lot of these foods? Because I imagine some of them are very specific to certain regions of the world.
Does anyone send you kind of weird food and say, try this?
We've gotten a couple of items sent in by people. I think what was it, cuttlefish snacks and this atomic horseradish.
Ooh.
But we get about half of our items from the internet, just various websites, something as simple as Amazon.com to just really, out there websites that you have to search a lot for.
Yeah, just digging through Google for hours.
Yeah. And then the other half we get from markets and other grocery stores out here.
Now, you started out with it came from a can, and you've done other things like deep fried what, challenges against other food reviewers. How's it all going? And where's the next direction from here?
It's It's actually going pretty well. Deep Fried What has turned into our most popular show.
Mm-hmm.
It's also strangely, our most controversial show.
Really?
Because people, there's a lot of people that don't like it.
Really? Is it
for
just
health
because
reasons?
it's so unhealthy? Because I did watch the one where you deep fried McDonald's, and I have to admit that actually looked good.
It was good, definitely, but definitely unhealthy. I don't know if it's that it's unhealthy. It's just it's more of an over the top show. It's more not us just being ourselves. It's sort of semi-scripted and stuff. So a lot of people don't like that.
Well, to be honest, when I saw the Deep
It's
Fried
just
What,
the deep fried what. You're right.
It reminds me a bit of Epic Mealtime.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, quite a lot.
And I guess that's probably a little bit difficult for you guys. People are comparing you to another video channel, a YouTube channel, when you've branched out and it's gone in a different direction. Is that something you see as a positive, a negative, something you want to change in the future?
I don't know if I would see it either way. Like, people are going to be like that. It is the internet, right? So you're going to get that from everywhere, anytime. We just do what we enjoy doing.
Has anyone ever written to you and been a bit offended about, you've tried food from Japan and Korea and all over the place. Has anyone been kind of offended by your reaction to the food, or felt that kind of you were insulting their culture because you didn't appreciate a certain dish?
Definitely in the comments. They wouldn't put it that eloquently, exactly.
They wouldn't be quite so polite.
No, they wouldn't. But we don't go out there to try to offend people. We just give our real reactions.
That's what I like.
I don't think we've ever actually had somebody say you've offended me by your words. It's been more of, you guys are preparing this dish wrong. Do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we get that quite a lot. It's like, we understand that, but...
Have you then gone ahead and tried preparing it the way they suggested, and has it tasted any better?
There's a couple that I guess we have. And of course they taste better if you prepare them, like, in a dish, but that's not what we're really out to do. We're out to get the raw flavor from the item.
So it's just straight from the can. It's not from the can into the pan or into the pot. It's literally from the can. Guys, future of Cult Moo, what's in store for you? Anything new that you're looking to review? Any kind of news that you have?
We're always working on new shows. Recently we put out reviews of MREs. We have a new show for fan packages. People send us stuff. We have a new show where we actually go out and find good food items, like we did rice bowls, or noodle bowls, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. MREs from around the world, or just specific to America?
We're going to try to get them from around the world, but so far we got this crate from this place called MRE Depot, and it's just filled with American Army rations.
I think it's like 20 different ones, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's a dozen, I think.
I got my hands on a Korean one recently, and they're self-heating. They're amazing, some of the stuff they've got in them. Yeah. Interesting stuff, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, of course, for the listeners out there that want to check out Cult Moo, you can check it out at cultmoo.com. Guys, good luck with everything in the near future. And, it's a great video blog. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thanks for having us.
Bye.
Oh, those are the two guys, Hair Pink and Senor Guero from Cult Moo. And I actually do recommend going out and checking out some of their videos because it's not just what they're eating, but it's the back and forth between the two of them, because you can tell
banter.
They're just genuinely really good friends, and there's no holds bar. They're just absolutely fantastic guys.
Nothing like drive time. We're not friends at all.
We're not friends at all. We never speak to each other outside of the studio.
It was quite interesting. It was interesting. It's always interesting to see people eat things that you're not willing to eat.
It's fun to watch other people in pain.
Yeah, that's why those things
and
are
I
so
have
successful.
to admit, I think it's Senor Guero. He has some of the strongest reactions to food he doesn't like. Like, I think his gag reflex is pretty sensitive.
Very sensitive, in fact.
Very sensitive indeed. There's been a few things that he's just literally had to just spit out.
Bondegi. I know...
he just couldn't. He kept on trying to eat it and then had to go to the sink and be sick.
He barely got it in his mouth.
It was literally like it touched his tongue and it just his gag reflex. But, it's not for everyone. But I appreciate the fact that they do try everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they won't eat and say, oh, that just looks gross. They say, no, let's try it and let's actually see how it tastes. Coming up in the last part of Drive Time, we're going to have Hollywood News, Gab and Glamour with a brand new guest. So stay tuned in for all that. And, of course, Sam and myself taking you through till 6.